Hello and welcome to a slightly different type of video for you. Now, you're probably aware that there is a new Star Wars trilogy beginning this year, this Christmas for that matter. So of course the whole world is going Star Wars crazy once more, and we've all been very happy and excited thanks to the rather quite excellent trailers that we've seen. So I thought it would be time to revisit the gaming side of Star Wars, but in a slightly different way. Rather than try and cover each game individually, what I've decided to do is, at least for the original trilogy, I will play through several Star Wars games covering each film in the trilogy. But I'll try and do it in order. I'll try and take levels from each of the major games, the best games, to kind of create this sort of play along with Star Wars series. So for the first video in this series, I thought we would start off with LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, or more specifically the first level from the New Hope chapter. Now, I think it's safe to say that LEGO Star Wars has been probably the most popular Star Wars game ever made, quite simply, just because it's a very friendly game, it's a very family-oriented game. It was a series that started off and no one knew what to think of it. And the original LEGO Star Wars was mainly based around the Episode 1 and the like. And when the second game came out and it covered the original trilogy, I think it was pretty well received. And then there was this complete saga that kind of connected the two together and added a few more bits and bobs. And that's the version we're playing in the first level from. Why I'm picking this game to start off with? Well, it's because it tackles a scene from the film that I don't think any other game has really covered, and that's the opening sequence with Leia and the Death Star plans moving on to 3PO and R2-D2 making their journey to Tatooine via the escape pod. Now, LEGO Star Wars, I think the LEGO series of games has grown quite tired, in my opinion. Although I'm quite tempted by Jurassic World, but I think in terms of the gameplay, that they haven't really delivered more than what this game offers. It hasn't really changed that much, and you think how many LEGO games are released every year, and there's no way they can make them all feel new. And I think that's what the problem is. I think a lot of us are feeling quite fatigued. Of course, they still sell like gangbusters. Kids and families love them, and they are excellent co-op games to play with people just because they're so easy to pick up. They're easy to understand, and it's nice seeing some of those kind of scenes in some of the best franchises, kind of made with little Lego characters. It works very well. It's very comedic. It's probably the most comedic we've seen of the Star Wars universe in terms of it officially. So this first level we're playing as Leia. And a rebel trooper of some sort, and just kind of going through the opening scene in the game. Now, the thing is about LEGO Star Wars, it wouldn't be LEGO Star Wars if it didn't involve collecting lots and lots and lots of studs. That is the little shiny LEGO pieces that you can kind of see spinning around on the floor. And getting all of those is one of the big collectibles of the game, as you're probably well aware, so I don't even know why I'm telling you this, because you know what to expect from a LEGO game. I think everybody who's watching this must have played at least one LEGO game. More than likely it's probably one of the LEGO Star Wars games as well. But I do like this level. It's nice to see, to start you off with something a little bit different. It's not the usual kind of game that would try to chuck you into something like the Hoth or some big scene. It doesn't even stick you into Tatooine at the start, which many Star Wars games go through, and as you'll probably see as we go along. So what we're doing is we're just going to go through, and I'm probably running through it a bit slower than I haven't played this game in so long, so I can't even remember a lot of the things at this point, which is almost like playing the game again for the first time, which is quite nice to revisit a game in this way. Just you get to appreciate how good that game is after you spent a bit of time away from it for a little while. So we met Darth Vader for the first time, and of course he's flanked by stormtroopers from all sides. And what I like is the co-op aspect, even when you're playing in single player. So you've always got a companion with you, and the game is very good at when you have switches where you have to switch at the same time. The game is very good at realising that you're doing that, and it gets the other player with the other computer controlled character to take part in the action at the same time. So we're just going to run through a bit more. lots of things to shoot and lots of things to beat up. Yeah, that's the good thing about Lego Star Wars. Everything's kind of destructible in some way, and it just explodes into a shower of Lego bricks. And then you have the little collectibles, and every now and then. And what's also good about it is not everything is open to you from the start. After you finish a game, you can kind of tackle it again in free play mode, where you can select characters that you couldn't normally pick as you're playing through the game, and you can open up extra, areas that you couldn't find before, getting more collectibles, unlocking more, and getting closer to that 100% completion, which most of us strive for, unless we get bored. And I like the array of characters in this game too. There's a nice selection of practically everybody you can ever think of in a Star Wars game. They sneak in somehow, and you can be them. And many of them there's all kind of different classes almost, whereas certain collections of characters have these particular abilities. So you have characters with blasters, characters with jetpacks, or of course lightsabers, and they all have different abilities, and they're all suited for different things, especially in free play mode when you're beginning to explore some of those hidden areas, looking for items that are normally quite well hidden. There's lots of replay value in this game, and it works very well, with co-op in that respect, because it's nice being able to just kind of go through with another player and the two of you trying to find all the hidden areas and all the collectibles you possibly can. I'm just taking the time to get as many studs. I don't know why, because I finished the game 100%. There's something quite addictive about collecting all the little doodads, just to make those numbers go up. I think by the time I finish this game on this far, I think I got maxed out the counter completely. What you can also get in this game is you can also unlock cheats, which give you different things. So you can get like a stud multiplier, which makes it so easy to get some of the more expensive items and cheats out there. It's when you have like times several thousand, it gets ridiculous, and every time you click it, you collect even one stud, your stud counter just goes through the roof crazily. It's absolutely insane. I think the combat in this game works very well. As it's very easy to kind of dodge stormtrooper fire, and it's pretty much one button for most moves. There's another button to dodge as well. We're just getting through to another Legoized cutscene. I like the embellishments they put on the original scenes as well to add a bit more humour. It fits in with Lego, that kind of playfulness, that creativity. I think that's another reason why the Lego games have endured for so long. I mean, it's been at least a decade since of Lego games so far. We're just playing as the droids. And again, they don't really have any sort of offensive capabilities whatsoever, which makes it quite interesting when you have like stormtroopers firing at you. There's an example of a good puzzle, I think. Just picking up the stormtroopers in a claw like the machines and dropping them off the edge. And you can get down there as well. And this is the part where I kind of don't quite remember what to do, because it has been so long. It has been a very long time since I played this game. But again, that's the nice thing about replaying, going back to those puzzles that you haven't touched for a while and trying to figure out, and then you get that eureka moment where it's like, oh yeah, I remember now, excellent. I'm just going to stick 3PO, see if I can move him to the other area. Although I realise I probably can't at this point. Oh yeah, we can pick him up. Because 3PO can't jump or float over gaps, and you have to carry him over that way. At least R2-D2 can use his little jetpack and go over the gap, and of course my character can jump across. I'm trying to remember that I can jump across. It's quite embarrassing, really. The bit where I go back to the crane again and think, how do I get across that? Not realising that I can jump. I didn't want to do another take, I just thought I'd leave it in, just because it's silly. Yeah, and I've jumped. So I'll just use 3PO and just get through that door. They're coming nearly the end of the level at the moment. Tackling the stormtroopers is normal, so you really have to pick one of the rebel fighters, because you're not going to hit anybody with 3PO at all. He's the most pacifist of droids around. Zooming through. Oh, yep, even more stormtroopers coming along. There's no real punishment for death in the Lego games. I mean, you lose some studs, which can be frustrating if you're trying to get the studs for filling up the bar. But I think it's so simple. It's you die and you come straight back in. There's that accessibility, the immediacy of it all, which I think we see a lot more in games. And I think this is one of those games that helped that mindset come into developing communities. Is that you don't want to spend ages waiting to play in between dying and seeing a game over screen. And also, there is a place and a time for game over screens and being punished for dying. But for a game like this, I think it suits having that immediacy very well. So there's another little simple puzzle, just getting R2-D2 to open up. Going through. But of course I can't use that character to open the switch, so you've got to move over to someone else. We'll just open this for now. Another weird little side gag of some stormtroopers relaxing in the pool for a hard day of doing whatever stormtroopers do when they're not firing weapons and missing. Just coming to the end. Let's just flick this switch, get through to the next area. And there we go, we've got the last control panel for 3PO to use. Thus signalling the end of the level. So we're just going to go into the last area. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you're enjoying this idea. The next video we're going to do is the Japanese Star Wars NES game, which you can absolutely not miss it. Please retweet and subscribe to this video. I hope you have enjoyed it, and until next time, happy gaming.